What's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Ricker and Bond. It is another juicy episode to get your week started. We're talking about Apple killing it in the earnings this quarter, and Musk and Sam Altman are going at it. They're not really friends, but we're following that story closely.
Meanwhile, Altman's company CFO said, oopsie, we can't exactly go public because we don't have the correct infrastructure. GDP is more, and by more, I mean less than American debt, and exciting ventures in the realm of coding with artificial intelligence. It's Ricker and Bond. It's your boys talking
Yes,
shop. Bye
yes, sir.
and hello.
Bye.
New Dark Racial. It's Ricker and Bond for your head top.
Just watch how you speak on my name.
Right.
Guys, we're here for the Iceman countdown, T minus 12 days and counting for the new Drake project. Hip hop is back. We're, we're down 50% in sales for the last year. And what has not happened the last year? No new Drake projects. So he's
Sure.
going to fix that. And we're going to have a great summer. And yeah, just stick with us live for the countdown here. 13 days left.
That was like a radio. It's funny that saying Jamaican slash Canadian slang triggered your Drake memory.
Yeah.
Funny.
I mean, like, is there any other?
There's no more Jamaican or Canadian or Latino man than there is Drake.
Drake is the avatar of all of the accents.
Avatar.
Avatar, The Last Airbender.
I was thinking the Blue Men Group,
Oh goodness.
like, but
Oh
the
gosh.
blue Avatar. It's Ricker and Bond coming at you with over 10,000 hours of listenerships and over 30,000 people reached. It's your favorite podcast to get your boys' insight on your favorite financial and technology news.
That's right. There's no other better place to be than with your boys, driving on the way to work. When does this come out? Monday?
It comes out when it comes out.
Yeah,
Sometimes your Claude tokens run out of space,
oof, that's embarrassing.
but it's out,
So,
bro.
so there's just no episode because the Claude rate limit hit. Oh man.
No, we still use another subscription. Shout out Munch, looking for that sponsorship. Uh, that does the clipping, but the scheduling, Claude really scripts those pythons. Speaking of, dude, you're getting flamed in the online comments about your takes on some kind of coding stuff for these nerds, dude. I don't know what these nerds are on about.
What's funny is that when I was saying it, I felt like, dude, there's gonna be somebody that's gonna flame me because I don't know.
I don't
Like,
have the
I
the
don't want to
tip.
read the comments.
Oh, you have to. That's part of the beginning of the
No, I
show.
haven't. No, I haven't. No, I have enough going on. I don't need. I don't
Dustin
need.
Faust 23 hours ago said on Code Editor versus Terminal Explained, said not true.
No, 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 no. I know I fucked that up, dude. Just take that video down. Fuck it.
Okay, so we'll go to one day ago, Severed to Hype over on YouTube, Breaker and Bond, under the clip 25-year-old CEO sells AI to SpaceX. This is about Cursor. Severed to Hype, Toe Hype says these people really are insane and need to be arrested. They're trying to or ignoring the risks, or maybe want to have some Terminator style shit. Who knows?
Were they talking about us?
I think they're talking about Musk and Cursor.
Uh,
I don't really, I don't think I gave off Terminator style shit vibes in that clip.
I was like, damn, that's a strong thing to say to two guys who randomly popped up on your feed.
That's right. Rick and Bond over on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Pop it on YouTube. We're looking at over 27,000 views. We're looking at 75 hours of watch time, plus 14 subscribers in the last 28 days. You're going to want to go over to YouTube, subscribe to Rick and Bond, play the podcast on your way to work while you're banging your wife, dude. Put on the pod.
Yes. And make sure you have it in Dolby Atmos 360 audio spatial.
There's nothing like Dolby Atmos 2360 spatial. A lot of
Oh, hell no.
earnings came in, and earnings really tell you where the country's headed, besides for a socialistic capitalist downfall, thanks to Mom Donnie. Am I right, folks?
It really shows you how the country is doing, except for 99% of the
Except for
country.
most of the country, but it shows you how the companies in the country are doing.
Yeah, yeah, except for the 1% that owns 50% of the wealth in the country.
And point one owns so there's a 250-year anniversary of said country, and I read the Barron's Magazine newspaper, and I always start at the back, you know. Same thing with
Same.
with the whores. You start at the back,
Yeah.
um, and so it's just kind of like telling history of financial stuff, and it's really funny to you kind of grudging up old things that probably most people don't want to read about. But yeah, a small percentage of the country owns most of the equities in the financial markets.
I mean, it'd be like that sometimes, you
But
know?
we're here to, hey, tell you, get stash that cash, go buy some Microsoft, go buy some Nvidia, dude. That's some good companies right there. I was looking up local storage because it hit me with another shout out. Flipboard is a nice app. I'm all about the reading, dude. If there's one mission I do here at Ricker and Bond, brought to you by W House Records, is to read. You know, um,
Are you flipping stuff or something and keeping them in your storage unit?
come again?
You said local storage and you said something flip dot ship, and I was like, oh God.
No, as
Oh
in,
God, he's drop
sorry,
shipping.
I meant local hosting. Self
Oh,
hosting, self storage is probably a thing, but it
got
popped
it.
up in a Flipboard article, and Nvidia is selling a $4,000 self hosting. I think just an LLM unit or some kind of I don't know some kind of model, but you could self host it instead of buying a bunch of tokens. That's pretty fun.
You talking about local models?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I'm
You
familiar
know,
with those.
you know, former YouTube star PewDiePie really pivoted character arcs and is super into anti-Google and self-hosting things now.
Super into anti-Google and
Anti-Google
self-hosting things.
and self-hosting
Those,
things.
wait, he's anti-self-hosting or he's pro-self-hosting?
Pro self-hosting,
Okay.
anti-Google, comma, pro self-hosting.
Like self-hosting what? LLMs or everything?
He did make a video on LLMs, but I think as he was going down that rabbit hole, he really got into the data ownership sovereignty hole, as some people might do.
I mean, that's fine and all, but didn't he become a multimillionaire because of Google?
Yeah, but whatever, dude.
Yeah, but whatever, dude.
Buy that Google stock. Story number one, Apple. Q2 2026 shatters records.
Damn.
Q2? Q1, no? January, March, April, May. Is it Q2 or
Uh,
Q1? Hey, I'm not gonna look like a fool not knowing quarters on YouTube.com, dude.
hey, time is a
Re-
concept,
It's
right?
relatively timeless.
Yeah, yeah.
Apple shatters records $111.2 billion in revenue. Services hit an all-time high. Reported 17% up year over year in revenue. Earning per share $2.01. Beat analyst estimates across every line. And services hit an all-time quarterly high at $30.98 billion. Apple reigns supreme.
Damn,
Despite
what a buzzer beater for Mr. Cook, huh?
despite a slight miss on iPhone unit sales, the stock
What? I'm selling.
climbed 3% in after hours trading. Uh, just a good old fiscal quarter for your folks as Tim Cook leaves his stead. Mac, iPad, and wearables all exceeded estimates, while services revenue of almost $31 billion reached a new quarterly record. Company's gross margin, everybody likes gross margins, held at 47.1%. Services is now the engine driving Apple's margin story. At nearly $31 billion per quarter, the segment is running at an annualized rate exceeding $120 billion, making it alone one of the most profitable software businesses on the planet.
Damn.
We're talking about a division that spans App Store, Apple TV Plus, iCloud, Apple Pay, Apple Care, the nascent Apple Intelligence subscription tier. Is there an Apple Intelligence subscription tier?
I hope not. And if there
Holy
is, I hope they
setting up
refund
that new
everybody.
iPhone, bro. It asked me if I wanted to get in that sweet, sweet AI, i.e., Apple Intelligence, and I said, "Oops, maybe later, maybe later."
Yeah, they really dropped the ball with that one, huh?
Maybe Mr. Turnus can bring back glory to the software of Apple world that Tim Cook uh, kind of dropped the ball on. I mean, App Store, Apple TV Plus, iCloud, Apple Pay is pretty nice, but
I
are
want
they?
to be clear that, and this is probably totally wrong.
Yeah.
All this money is definitely from the App Store and probably Apple Music, and maybe that's it. No, Apple Care for sure.
Well, the division
Yeah,
spans App Store, Apple TV Plus, iCloud, Apple Pay, and Apple Care.
Apple TV Plus definitely a loss leader. Um, what else? What else do they have that nobody uses? Apple Fitness Plus for sure. Unless you're with Apple One, which a lot of people are. That just comes with it, I believe. Um, Let me think. What else? It's an Apple TV.
You don't
Uh, I don't know.
know.
They sell software too, but I'm sure that's not making $30 billion. Software has been Final Cut and Logic, which is weird. I was thinking today that Apple is one of the few software companies can get away with selling software without having a free trial.
Sure.
It's just like $200 and then you can use it.
We got some analyst estimates on a breakdown of these services. App Store, potentially 30 to $35 billion annually.
Bam.
Licensing from Google search deal, about $18 billion annually.
Nice.
iCloud, 10 billion. Apple Music, 9 billion. Apple Care, 9 billion. Apple TV, 2 billion. Apple Pay, transaction fee revenue in the low billions. So we're talking App Store, we're talking a Google deal, and we're talking iCloud. Apple Music coming in at fourth.
Apple Pay is surprisingly low.
Well, it's a fee revenue model. And now again, these are analyzed analyst estimates. Apple deliberately does not break these out into 10Q or earnings calls. So there's no official per service figures to cite.
That's
Bitch.
lame.
Bitch.
What if they're fudging the numbers?
Hey, Citron, dude. Is Apple fudging numbies?
Yeah, figure it out.
Next week, a deep dive in how Apple has pulled off the biggest fraud that America's corporate structures has ever seen.
That would be something, wouldn't it?
Breaking news, Apple is a fraud company. I
Apple,
subscribe via following on an Instagram to a car biz, car business, an auto industry content channel, if you will. And there's some rigmarole around Chinese vehicles and not wanting their tech in America in the vehicle of vehicles. But he was like, yo, Apple iPhones are hella made in China, and that's not a freaking security qualm. What's up with that? Let me make my cheap cars.
security qualm?
Yeah,
Are
that's
these? cars like electric smart self-driving cars they're trying to sell or regular cars?
Most likely. I mean, have you ever seen a regular car in the last 2 years?
Yeah, I drive one.
Well, beside on the market,
Yeah.
they're trying to track your face. They're trying to see your eyeballs and your pupils and say, "Oh, are you drunk? Are you drunk?" No, dude. They're trying to take your data and be Big Brother over here, dude.
They're trying to
No,
see how hard you brake so they can raise your insurance.
no, I'm not gonna have it, dude. Libertarian Ricker over here, bro. We gotta take the state out of the government, bro.
Dude, finally. Finally, you're speaking my language.
You know, I want to build my own roads and tax my own kids. You know what I mean?
Whoa, 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 whoa. Build our own roads.
Yeah, build your own roads, dude. Libertarian Ricker.
I'll pay some taxes if I
Whoa,
don't have to build the
whoa,
roads.
whoa,
If I don't
whoa,
have to
whoa.
build the roads
Slippery slope, dude. No, don't do it.
and we can
Go-
have some,
Government building roads leads to people tracking inside of vehicles. Don't do it, dude.
well, I mean, it doesn't have to.
Oh, it does. Oh, every time.
It doesn't have
Every
to
time.
if the cars are made by the private sector.
Story number two, Ricker and Bond. Everybody, make sure to subscribe. Tell your friends to tell a friend your favorite pod. You've been listening with Peter from Norway since 2018. John is Rusty on YouTube. Uh, tell
John
everybody.
is Rusty. Shout out John is Rusty.
Shout out John's Rusty. Story number two, OpenAI misses internal revenue and user targets, and an IPO timeline slips to 2027. OpenAI
Whoa.
missed multiple internal revenue and user growth targets in recent quarters, according to a new report, with its goal of 1 billion weekly active ChatGPT users going unmet and monthly revenue falling short after ceding enterprise share to Anthropic and Gemini. The IPO timeline, and for those that don't know, IPO is an acronym for initial public offering to go on a public stock market. The IPO timeline previously targeted for late 2026 has now slipped to mid to late 2027. Oh my God. The world's most valuable AI startup is spending roughly $100 billion per year, but it's not hitting its own internal growth metrics, dude. WTF up with that?
They better get it together or
According,
not. I mean, the stock's gonna go crazy anyway.
it will. According to reporting from CNBC and corroborated, big word, by PitchBook analysis, the company missed internal monthly revenue targets multiple times in early 2026 after Anthropic captured enterprise coding workflows, it sure did, and Google's Gemini accelerated its consumer share. An internal KPI set by your boy, Sam Altman, your boy, slipped out of reach as ChatGPT growth plateaued in a mature market. Meanwhile, infrastructure spend has pushed the company's annualized burn well above $10 billion. Valuation in the private market stands at $300 billion, implying the public markets would need to price a company with massive losses, a deteriorating competitive moat, and a $1.15 trillion in infrastructure obligations. CFO Sarah Fryer has reportedly told board members that the company still lacks the financial reporting infrastructure required by public market regulators.
What? What do you mean? You can't fill out some files? Don't you make AI?
Hold up, dog. Sarah. Sarah. I'm not going to put
Sarah,
this on Sarah, but she's the messenger.
isn't that her job?
Sarah Fryer, chief financial officer at an AI company that intakes just bucket loads of data and spits it out in a stupid retail tone, told it board members that the company still lacks the financial reporting infrastructure required by public market regulators. That's the most damning sentence I've ever seen of anything I've ever read in my life. And I read
Yeah, we need a couple more
almost
years
daily,
to
dude.
fudge this, to fudge the numbers.
Holy moly, dude. I'm shorting everything.
That's crazy. What does that even mean? Does that mean we still got to make some shit up, or like we're in a worse financial situation and we care to tell people?
First of all, Google. I looked up that sentence on Google and it does its AI overview, and the first two sources it pulls from is Instagram. Shout out, bro.
Oh, why?
I don't know, but source Ricker and Bond as well. Um,
Mhm.
Fryer, who joined to bring financial maturity to the startup, indicated that OpenAI still needs to strengthen its internal financial controls, compliance systems, and reporting standards to meet the requirements of a public market regulator. Fryer reports suggesting question the high capital expenditure on computing infrastructure, aka data centers, noting that if revenue growth does not accelerate, the company could face challenges funding future commitments.
Yikes.
April 27th, 2026, Ms. Fryer and Mr. Altman issued a joint statement to Reuters stating they are totally aligned on buying as much compute as we can. You selling any compute, dude?
I'm not.
Oh, okay. Well,
But yeah, no, I'm doing my part to help OpenAI meet its financial obligations by giving them $100 a month.
doing what I can.
I'm doing what I can. I'm giving Anthropic $200 a month. Well, I'm not, but
I,
someone is.
I am just a pro user. Both Codex and Anthropic are kind of being like, hey, dude, you're getting a little high there on the week, and we'd like more money. We can't report to the financial markets. We're going to stop you till May 5th, dude.
That's disgusting.
May
Just
5th
get a just get a local model, run it on your machine.
from Nvidia.
You don't have to go Nvidia. Just go like
I want Nvidia. You
olama.com.
think I don't want fun Nvidia stuff, dude?
Grab some DeepSeek, grab some
Deep.
Gemma 4.
Ugh. Chinese hardware?
I'm just talking about the model.
Chinese models, bro? You know I only rock with American models.
Oh, well, I mean, can you get Anthropic
You know
locally?
I
I don't
only
think you
rock with
can.
LATAM models for my LLMs.
You can get Google models locally,
Yeah, is it just gonna
but
do a freaking autocomplete?
well, Gemma's pretty good, but it depends how good your computer is.
Dude, I have one of the best computers ever made. It's a Macintosh MacBook Pro. It has
How much RAM?
an M1 silicon chip. How much RAM,
Oh,
dude? This
yeah.
baby is running, I don't know, it has 16 gigabytes of memory.
Okay, yeah, you're cooked.
I'm cooked!
Yeah, you're gonna want like
Dude,
an M4 with 32 gigs of
the
memory.
nerds in the comments are gonna wreck me, bro.
Yeah, so like here's the thing.
The
So
nerds in the comments are gonna wreck me.
Opus and GPT-5.5 are really good. And they're cloud models, so they cost money, tokens, right? To get
If
an
they're running
equivalent,
local.
no, no,
If they're
no, no, but
what?
the model in the cloud, like
Oh,
you're
sure.
on the internet and it's running the compute somewhere else and giving you the answers on your computer and like doing stuff on your computer.
Lame, bro.
But you can put like you can download an entire model and put it on your computer so that it doesn't need to go through the internet and do stuff. But in order to get a model good enough that's like Opus 4.7 level, you need a really fucking good computer, like way better than anything available to consumers. But you can get like worse models, like smaller, dumber models that fit on some
Dude,
computers.
I need the smartest models to make me a Python script to upload my clips to Munch, bro.
Yeah, then you're gonna want to stick with the cloud.
You think I can use these dumb little Szechuan models? Is that racist?
No, I mean I tried. I mean Google has a good one. It's all right. Like, but you
Exactly.
obviously notice that it's not as good as Opus.
I want fun things, bro. Um, yeah,
Get out that credit card.
if if OpenAI does a little crash, it has a lot of tentacles in other technology companies. Um, they also kind of broke up with Microsoft in terms of their revenue split to go into more enterprise B2B, bro. What you know about B2B sales?
I know a little bit. Yeah, now they're on AWS. Can use
Oh,
OpenAI models for that. That's cool. That's cool stuff right there.
in the same vein of an AI company not being able to report financial structure, story number three might surprise you, but it might not because it's Musk versus Altman, week one. Quote, you can't loot a charity. There's a trial between two freaking technology lords, Elon Musk, Sam Altman. The most consequential trial in Silicon Valley history kicked off in Oaktown this week with Elon Musk spending 3 days on the stand accusing Sam Altman and OpenAI's leadership of converting a charitable mission into a for-profit enterprise for personal gain. Musk testified that Microsoft's $10 billion investment was the inflection point that, quote, looted the nonprofit and is seeking $130 billion in damages plus Altman's removal, and it could restructure the entire trajectory of frontier AI development. Whose side you
Say
on, bro?
what?
Who you got?
Um, I don't know. It kind of seems like Elon is just like beating a dead horse here. It also kind of seems like he was working there. I think he's the one that wanted to turn it into a company, and they said no, and so he left, and then they turned it into a company, and it became successful.
Didn't
So
know
like
that.
maybe yeah, maybe he's like butthurt about that. I could be wrong about him wanting to turn it into a company. I think he did though. I don't know. I'm sure one of these 17-year-olds in the comments will flame me. But
Whoa, they
um
might be 30-year-olds or 50-year-olds too.
hey, you know what? The fact that they're commenting on a TikTok, is it appropriate for a grown man to comment on a TikTok video?
Fellas, is it gay? Um,
Have you seen those videos? Like, is it appropriate for a grown man to have a high credit score? Because when you think about it, it's really you asking another man for a loan.
true.
Yeah. So
Which is
you want to keep it like,
homosexual,
yeah, you want to keep it low, like 610, 600.
though.
You know? So you're not asking for approval for another man to lend you money.
OpenAI, well, Sam Altman versus Elon Musk. The legal theory hinges on when OpenAI's transformation became irreversible. Musk testified that his faith in the organization went through three phases: enthusiastic support, growing uncertainty, and then a conviction that the nonprofit had been co opted for private enrichment. A conclusion, he says, crystallized when Microsoft's investment arrived. Musk's legal team is arguing that the investment was not a charitable donation, but a commercial transaction. Is that what it's being pawned off as?
Microsoft's money to OpenAI?
Yeah.
I thought it was an investment.
Apparently, the legal team has a position that it was not a charitable donation, which implies that it was made as a charitable donation. And that accepting this $10 billion sum of money from Microsoft violated OpenAI's founding charter. The defense, Sam Altman, is expected to argue that Musk himself sought control of the organization and sued only after being denied. My goodness, zesty little tech beef we're having here.
This is some zesty beef. This
This
is
is
some A1 Wagyu ground beef.
good white founder beef,
Yeah.
only to
Doesn't
happen
like,
in Oakland.
doesn't Elon have some other shit he should be doing so that Sam can focus on not bankrupting this company?
Well, maybe it's that's part of the Elon plays to slow down OpenAI and drain their capital on a silly little dispute for what may be one of the largest IPOs in since, I don't know, Amazon or Google.
It's not Sam's fault. Grok sucks.
That's true, bro. Grok does suck so much.
It's actually not bad, but it just
But
has
it
this
is
weird taste
because,
to it.
perception tends to be reality. There's bubbles coming over my gate, bro. My-
That's pretty gay, but okay.
uh,
You should
stock
take care of that and
stock
kill
market's
whoever's.
freaking roaring, dude. Um, it was a big old dip in April, and it's one of the fastest recoveries the market has ever seen. S&P 500 closes above 7,200 for the first time. April best month for stocks since 2020, bro. We're back.
Damn, so you're telling me we can have a booming war in Iran and gas prices can be higher than they've ever been, but the
Hey,
stock
man.
market still goes up?
Sounds like good margins for the industrial and energy sector to me.
Am I in the right business, you think?
Uh, being a citizen, no. If you're in the business of being a normal citizen without having ownership of a big old company that makes a bunch of revenue, you're in the wrong business, loser.
You mean like owning stocks or actually just owning the business?
I meant both. I
Oh,
meant business, but I do uh, now intend to say both.
nice, dude.
April 2026 into the record books as a historic month for U.S. equity markets. Your favorite market and mine closed above 7,230 on April 30th, breaking that 7,200 threshold for the first time ever. Ring the bell. Both
Is,
indices,
is
NASDAQ
the
and... Oh, please go ahead.
sorry, I just gotta
Ruin the
ask you.
clip, dude. Ruin the clip.
Is the AI bubble not a thing anymore, or what?
Oh, we're bubbling, dude. I just had
Okay.
bubbles come over the gate, bro.
Oh, fuck.
If
Tomorrow's
there's
the day.
if there's anything that's been more of a an omen, it's bubbles flying towards me as I do a financial podcast.
Yeah, also what Miss Fryer said wasn't great, but
That is a crazy, I mean, that's a crazy public statement. That means,
crazy
okay,
thing to say.
going back to the CFO of OpenAI saying we don't have the infrastructure to financial report as the regulation requires for public markets. Meaning the cats in the boardroom, or maybe not the boardroom, but the staff want to slow down that process of going public for some reason. What is that reason? We brought up Apple being the biggest fraudster in America, potentially. Could be OpenAI. Imagine, you've seen all those Fortune and Forbes covers of fraudster entrepreneurs and founders who were talking about that lady who did that blood scheme, talking Bankman Fried, who's almost out. Free my boy, bro. Um, could we see potentially Mr. Altman on a disgraced Forbes magazine cover?
I mean, yeah, maybe,
Wouldn't
but
surprise me. Um, okay,
uh,
so someone in staff wants to slow down an IPO process
yes.
because of a reason. People IPO for money, most likely.
Uh-huh.
Um, and I just technically that can't be feasible that you don't have the infrastructure to report.
I think she just said that, but I low-key feel like she really means that the money situation is way worse than we've publicly disclosed. So we just want to like
Right.
get our
Freaking, they're, you know, pushing the bucket down.
yeah, but I know they don't want to because they need money, you know. It's not like they're like they have to IPO. They're doing it because they need funding. Because they've like fucking wrung the private markets dry pretty much.
And don't have
You
enough
know,
revenue to buy data centers.
well, they're in these contractual obligations, right, with like Oracle, and if they can't
Make revenue.
once it once everything becomes public and people scrutinize that, they may be like, dude, there's no way that OpenAI is gonna be able to survive longer than fucking 2029, you know,
Takes
unless they
down Microsoft, takes down everybody buying enterprise stuff.
it could, unless they like start. charging what this AI is really worth. Because right now we're using like highly subsidized AI in terms of there should be no free ChatGPT tier, like because every conversation costs money. If they were like, okay, we're actually gonna charge our customers what we're paying for this shit. I'm just making up numbers here, but there'd be no free tier, and the cheapest one could be like $50 a month, just for AI, just so they can cover their cost.
Hmm.
But they're in that startup, get as many customers as possible, pay for it with venture capital phase like Uber was. And Anthropic's in the same boat, but they have less compute and less money, so they have to put like super harsh rate limits on there. Gemini has unlimited money, so their API is free. Um,
La, 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 la.
and I think Grok has rate limits too, so I'm sure they don't have unlimited money. But yeah, no, it's I think because of the deals they set up, people are gonna be like, okay, yeah, no, this company's not gonna be worth anything. So maybe they're just trying to get more time to get more revenue. But
Could also be a part of the Musk lawsuit. It's trying to get some financials out in public
yeah,
to freaking ruin their IPO out of spite. I don't know.
yeah, that could be the case. Well, we'll see too when Anthropic's supposed to IPO too, um, next year, I think. So
There was a chart, an infographic published by A16Z that is one of the best pieces of media I've seen. It's from 1985 to up to this year in the top public companies by market cap. And you can see the rise and fall of companies that were on top of the world. And then 30 to 40 years, there's a new class coming in.
here
20,
could be
2015 was the era of Microsoft, and before that. But then you see some new cats, your Googles, your Amazons. I think Apple was a couple of decades, but you clearly see the rise and fall of top dogs that were unfollowable. Fall.
who's gonna beat I don't know, like in the 60s or whatever, it was probably stupid to say, Sears is never gonna fall, right? But
Yes.
obviously like other sectors overtook it. I wonder like who's gonna overtake like Amazon. Well,
Nvidia, Google, Amazon's interesting because I'd
well,
bet on them.
Amazon and Google, like who's gonna take over both of them?
There's a new crop of cats coming up. Freaking Anthropic, Databricks, SpaceX, Cerebrus, perhaps. I'll show you this. I'll show you this infographic. The top 10 companies by decade by percentage of the S&P 500, Standards and Poor's, if you don't know that acronym. Market cap, market capitalization, if you don't know that abbreviation, as of the first day of the indicated year. 1985, your favorite year. Prince just released his ninth album, probably. Uh, on top, DuPont, Kodak, your favorite company, Royal Dutch, dude. Amoco, Shell, AT&T, General Motors, GE. GE went on a freaking historic run. Exxon and IBM. These were the top dogs in 1985. And you go to a decade later, 1995, almost the year of the rat. You have some new cats coming in. P&G, Merck, Walmart, Altria, Coca-Cola. While you don't see DuPont, you don't see Kodak. Shell dropped off. General Motors dropped off. You go a decade later, even more drop-offs. 2005, new entrants. We got Johnson& Johnson, AIG, Bank of America, Pfizer, Citigroup, and a little tech company known as Microsoft. You might have heard of them. AT&T gone. Walmart still there. makes a little bit of a run. P&G comes back in 2015. When new people come into the fold, Chevron, JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, Berkshire, shout out, and your boys over at Apple, dude, making consumer products that everybody buys. 2025, you're looking at JP Morgan, Berkshire, Broadcom, which Broadcom, Broadcom got a little lucky with that placement. Don't know if that is going to stay there forever. Tesla, Meta, Google, aka Alphabet, Amazon, Microsoft coming up on 30 years of being a top market cap in the US stock market. And you see Nvidia for the first time as well. Apple coming up on decade number 2. You'll notice
Google
here.
wasn't in 2015.
Come again?
Google wasn't top in 2015.
It's looking like no.
That's weird.
You'll notice that if you're watching on video on YouTube, that they're color coded, these companies, and that the very first cohort of 1985 was in green. There's only 2 green by 2015, and the yellows are in 2005. There's only 1 yellow left from 2005 to 2025. It's Microsoft, Micro Hard, and these reds, Broadcom, Tesla, Meta. I'm not gonna. Sorry, Broadcom, I'm not gonna include you. I know you're up there at market cap, but I don't think you're gonna be there forever. Broadcom, come on,
Come on.
Broadcom, Tesla, Meta, Masters of the Universe or the Metaverse, Meta, Alphabet, Amazon, Nvidia are the new kids on the block. 2025. So we go back to the question of who in about 10 to 20 years will take off the red group: Tesla, Meta, Alphabet, Amazon, and Nvidia.
It's gonna be a one-person trillion-dollar company.
I don't think so. I think a little bit of Anduril in there, a little bit of fence infrastructure. Um,
Yeah.
but okay, so that being said, the ones that I'm saying are kind of like consensus. These are the biggest companies now. Uh, yeah, I'm sure there's something that is being made right now that um, is not in the consensus view of the best companies to come. That might take down the red group, and the new color will be purple. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, but what if the red companies just buy the up and comers?
Well, they keep going on like Exxon did for 4 decades. Keep going on like GE did for 4 decades. Probably a lot of mergers and acquisitions in there. You might even see a correlation between the volume of mergers and acquisitions and staying power in the top companies in the Standards and Poor 500.
Isn't like Microsoft owned like 40% of OpenAI and Anthropic owns like 30% of, or Amazon owns like 30% of Anthropic. So these new cats come up. It's just gonna make the big guys bigger.
That is true. That is very, very true. So those
Blame it on the big A.
those new companies, um, I don't know. You have that with Apple and Microsoft. 2 decades or 1 decade of Microsoft, Apple comes in. Phone revolution, consumer services revolution. Microsoft was doing the software, hardware stuff, making computers. Apple does its things in the tens. Then
Apple
over
just doing
here,
a slow thing.
Apple got its freaking chokehold, making online things a little bit easier. In comes Amazon, in comes Google, in comes Meta.
Meta saving the
It's
world with their metaverse initiative.
Look at this chart, dude. Isn't this a beautiful freaking infograph?
Yeah, it looks like ChatGPT made it.
Well, it's A16Z, bro, so of course it did.
Blame it on the big A.
Look at that chart. Also, findable at Ricker and Bond on Instagram. A company, Meta, bought.
Yeah, and now it what makes like over 100 billion a year or something. Something
Oh,
stupid like that.
Speaking of something stupid, you ever heard of GDP, bro?
Yes.
It's called gross domestic product. Um, and what I wanted to say was not what that story was.
But what do you
Um,
want to say, bro? Let it out. Let it fucking out, dude.
um, gosh darn it.
Hey, take all the time you need.
The debt to GDP ratio is over 100, meaning the debt is greater than the gross domestic product of the United States of America for the first time since, I believe, 1948.
Damn, and this time it's worse because the GDP is way bigger than 1948.
uh, I gotta take a screenshot of this, or I can go to the post.
Well, that's unfortunate. Good thing that our generation and the generations to come will have to deal with that.
This is a quite damning chart that you can see on YouTube, Ricker and Bond, also on my personal Instagram. Um, U.S. publicly held debt as a share of GDP. Now, this chart starts off in 1940 at 40%. That means debt is 40% of gross domestic product of the United States of America. It popped up in the 40s to a
That
similar.
around World War II.
Who knows what's going on? Who knows what's going on, dude? History, dude. History doesn't have anything to do with the economy, bro.
Yeah, you're right.
Again, like with the 250-year America thing, it's very funny to see that stuff, and it's like talked about like the Kennedys' freaking paternal great grandfather like made stocks popular. LOL.
It, it's interesting how in the 60s and 70s it goes down to around 20% GDP. But then that same generation just spent the rest of their lives just running up the deficit for us to enjoy. What happened there in 2000, 9/11?
Oh, we're talking about 2008. That's when your boy Obama flooded the markets with what we like to call uh, fuck, I forgot what it's called.
Drones?
That besides that, so that
Oh,
probably did quantitative easing. I'm sorry, that should have never slipped my mind. Basically, just propping everything up by buying debt and making everything a little bit pricier.
so
So
you're
much
telling me
quantitative easing, but also making stocks go brazy.
it's Barry's fault?
Uh, he was in the seat when quantitative easing really hit the wind.
You're telling me we just can't stop spending?
No, and that's usually the downfall of all great empires. Fiscal debt now tops 100% of gross domestic product, a potent symbol of the gathering fiscal stress on the U.S. that has been building for decades, on the way toward breaking the record set in the wake of your favorite war and ours, World War II, one of the best world wars. As of March 31st, the country's publicly held debt was at $31.265 trillion, while the GDP over the preceding year was $31.216 trillion, according to data released in May. Well, April. That puts the ratio at 100.2% compared with 99.5% when the last fiscal year ended September 30. The figure will likely climb for the foreseeable future because the federal government is historically running a large annual deficit of nearly 6% of GDP, which add to the debt. The government is spending $1.33, $1.33 for every dollar it collects in revenue, and the budget deficit this year is projected at $1.9 trillion. But don't worry, Bonjen, because the government's going to buy Spirit Airlines.
Damn.
We're back, dude. We're back.
Are we fucked or what?
Dude, no, we're back. Did you not just hear what I said? The government's going to buy Spirit Airlines to make a revenue.
The government's gonna take a wonderful private company that helps millions of people get to their destination safely and turn it into the DMV.
You're right, dude. I'm building my own roads.
I'm policing my own community.
I'm the sheriff around these parts, Mr. Officer.
I'm
Am I
delivering my
right?
own mail.
Am I right, everybody?
Isn't it crazy how like the mail is just like the only mail I care about is Amazon mail. Like I don't have a mailbox. I check it twice a year
Oh,
because Amazon just comes straight to my doorstep. But the mailbox, I got to walk to it, and there's nothing important there. Just bills I can pay online, so it just gets overstuffed.
true.
And
I
I'm
was,
just like, can you opt out of mail, like receiving mail? Is there a way like, no, I don't want to get any mail anymore?
it's a great question. It's a great question. We'll do it on Ricker and Bond Experiments. That's a limited time series where we take one of your questions and take a deep dive into a limited run video content publication. Publish it on Google's YouTube.com so you can watch it in your leisure time.
How come your name on the Zoom also says Bonjen?
You got me.
Damn, what? Who am I?
Rick,
Hello? Am I deaf? Can you hear me?
Ricker and Bond is the greatest fraudster company in all of American corporate structure. I've been Bond this entire time. for someone
Yes.
for someone not knowing, someone who's been auditorily listening. I guess they don't know either way, besides the name tags, which I have hidden. So you kind of just outed yourself
Oh
as
shit.
as a cuck.
I'm the only one in the country with the name Bon, besides Bon Jovi. So
Right. That might be his last name, and I think he's dead. There's a website that is I've created and published to the internet called Wrivid.com, Wrivid.com, and it gives you all your favorite financial publication reports, so you can read with ease. Read with ease. Still working on a tagline, but it's not live right now. I don't actually. I mean, it's live right by the time someone hears this, but there's a few more bugs I have to do. Um, but yes,
you
it's
made
live
it.
right now.
Is
Um,
it
no, that's how I used it.
RIVID.com?
Yes, it was previously a COVID era podcast clipping idea, some kind of podcast services. But in the year of 2023, September 1st, I wrote down on a schematic. I'll show you such a schematic. Uh,
That
just
is
a,
certainly not live.
well, by the time they hear it, dude, I have to
Oh, get it
upload.
up.
I have to
Fuck.
upload to freaking and that service I was talking about last
Verso.
last the Vercel alt is called render. Um, I could actually I'll show you right now.
Yeah, show me this shit. God damn it.
Um, just every kiddo's dream, dude. So in September of 2023, I wanted an easy way to do top-down research on financial markets and markets of all sorts. It started with a mere four oblong rectangles, as we see for the video audience. Um,
Mhm.
this is what I wanted to make. You open Rivid, and you ask what you want to see by country and sector. Now, this now is a phase two of Rivid, but what we got now is a scraping mechanism that gives you your favorite boring financial reports, and you can just click on it and then read it.
Oh, there's a W.
Yeah! Dude, if you ever see an R, there's a W in front of it. Reading, writing, raving. The server might not be running.
Are these like
Oops.
relevant images or is it just like stock images?
So the images primarily want to be the images from the financial institution. So those images you see from Vanguard are easily pulled. These are the people doing the reports. That Goldman Sachs research cracks in private credit is not able to get the primary photo, so it has fallen back on getting an image that is related to the title. You click it, and it's a report. and then you read it.
Is it your report
No, it's
or it's
Goldman
their
Sachs.
redacted version?
Yeah, it scrapes PDFs for public reports, puts it all on one site so you can easily read. For those who read the private, not going to be the tagline. Might get rid of that indexed bubble. Um,
Nice.
but
And
phase
it's
one,
all
all
automated.
all AI coded, all automated. It's a little the pipeline from scraping to ingesting to publishing is still a little crickety, and I'm gonna have to ask my friends over at the Claude engineers who engineer the code to tell me how to engineer stuff so I can engineer it. Um, how to make it a little less crickety. Sometimes it misses stuff, and I have to be like, "Hey, why'd you miss that, dude?" And it's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, dude. I was being an idiot. I should definitely do get that." Um, so before I wanted to do like a Mad Lib style, show me a sector, a country, and then like tell me everything about it. That's a little bit harder than just scraping. Although the scraping was pretty freaking difficult for AI code to do. A lot of dorking, a lot of PDFs that you can't be seen. Harder than one might imagine. Wrivid.com. W
Nice. Yeah, river.com with a W.
WRIVID.com. And Bonjen, what it really is, yes, it's just reports from the best financial institutions put on one site, river.com, WRIV.com, WIRIVID.com. And it, yes,
Can
it
you
has a
make
sick logo.
accounts
You will be able to make an account.
and say your favorite ones?
These are all in the pipeline, dude.
Can you send them to people?
You're going to be able to send text messages saying, hey, dude, I'm getting smarter thanks to Rivet.com. Of course.
Is
Will
there
it
an
be?
iOS? Is there an iOS app I can download?
It's on the freaking roadmap, dude.
Oh, an iPad app. I need one of
It's
those
on the
too.
roadmap, dude. Let me get the PDFs to show up that are blurry first, dude. They're blurry. I don't want them to be blurry.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's not good.
I still have to put a download icon so it can print and send. Yes, it'll be like Duolingo for reading. This is all in the roadmap, Bonjen. But
Link over.
at its core, what Rivet is giving people the ability to reclaim their attention. That's right. In a
Oh,
world, when I was young, I'll tell you a story, Bonjen. Bon,
yeah.
Jen,
Yeah.
Bonjen.
Yes.
When I was younger, I had a
Uh-huh.
problem. Elementary
Uh-huh.
school. I had to go to a special class. Now, Bon,
Yeah.
let me ask you, what's my name?
Ricker.
Rick. That's right. What does that word and name start with?
An R.
An R. Bon,
Yeah.
what if I told you as a young child, little Ricker, I had troubles saying R's, my own name. I couldn't
Wicker.
say it well. I said John Wicker.
Damn.
I
That's
had to go to a
cute.
class, a special ed class for retarded kids, to speech class. I went with the homie MSAP. He graduated speech class before I did. I was still in there. One time in speech class, I accidentally gleeked on my teacher.
Ew. Gross.
For anyone who doesn't know what a gleek is, it's when there's some kind of evil animal biology underneath your tongue and it spits out like a fucking lizard.
It's disgusting.
And as a young elementary kid trying to learn his R's, being helped by this probably 21-year-old smoke show at the time, probably, I don't know. I
And
don't
it
know.
went in her mouth.
And it hit her face.
And she
Anyway,
was like, ew, what the fuck?
let me get back to my PR shtick. As a young kid, I had trouble saying my R's, you know? And so if you come back to now, what's the title of that website, John? On
Rivid?
Rivid. Starts with an R, does it?
No, starts with a W.
Fuck. That's right. Because I'm winning back my attention to read. I've been
Or I guess
bestowed
you
the
could say
power of
we're renting our attention to
what?
read. What?
I've we right. Still working on the tagline. Um, I've been bestowed the power of reading in a world where people want quick. Their brains are being molded to mush. They're not being able to take the pathways and find different things and different insights and put them all together with a human brain, maybe AI assisted. But this is because they've lost their power to read. It's about reading, Bonjen. Now, this is $6,000 a week subscription. And
Well,
so are you in or are you in?
I don't know if I can afford that. Do you have a
You're
student
broke, bitch,
discount?
dude. Next.
Do you have a student discount?
Oh,
Well, a
yeah.
military
With,
discount.
with military and student discount, it is only $50 a week.
Okay. Well, that's still a lot, but for sure.
But versus 6,000, a lot less. Um, yeah. No, I made a website to read financial reports because I wanted to read. You will be able to make a little account, save your favorite stuff. You will be able to search things in the future. This is an AI native startup research company. We are taking investments. We do not make any money. We will never make any money, but we will take valuation because growth, growth, the real value to invest in is self growth. Come on. Rick and Bob, we out.
That was beautiful.
We fucking out. That's the episode. I can't do any better than that.
Yeah, that was a great plug.
Hyperscalers are spending
Rivid.com.
close to $800 billion on AI in 2026. Google signs classified AI deal with the Pentagon. LOL.
They're reading that companies or Uber in particular already spent their AI budget for the year.
Dude, Uber, they did their showcase for investors and stuff. You can now order an Uber ride and have a Starbucks already delivered in that ride. That's right, Uber Eats plus Uber Ride.
Damn. Wait, so the driver has to go to Starbucks
It
and
is, and
then
it's very hard, says the CEO of Uber. It's hard to navigate that.
it's hard to find drivers that want to do that.
Oh, it's pretty easy when a lot of people can't get a job, dude.
I wonder what the price for that is.
My phone's not on me, and I didn't get that beforehand. That's on me, bro. That's on me.
Man, I'm banned from Uber for life, so you're gonna have to tell me the price of that.
Medtronic confirms a cyber attack. Shiny Hunters claims $9 million in patient records stolen. Humanoid robots move from lab to factory at floor at Hanover Mess. Spirit Airlines is dead. First major U.S. carrier shut down in 25 years. It's Ricker and Bond.
Shout out Pan Am.
What? Is that the last one that died?
I think so.
Dude, look at these logos though, dude. Hold on. The episode's over.
All
You
right.
can you can leave for any audience member listening. I'm just trying to see the.
I can warp.
I gotta go. I
Does my
gotta.
face look fat, dude? What the fuck? Does it?
Where are my freaking folders of logos, dude?
You didn't say no, so
I'm not looking at you. I can't,
uh
can't
my
bear it.
face looks fat. I look like Cleveland Browns.
CeeLo Brown is crazy, Paul. It's a really good
This is
logo, the Rivet logo.
Jesus Christ, I look like Raven Baxter.
Dan, you can zoom in, it doesn't even blur, bro. That's a real website. You know when you
Next.js, baby.
say it again?
Next.js, baby.
Oh, is that what Claude's always saying? Oh, Next.js, Next.js. I'm like, whatever, nerd, just do it.
Yeah, you're gonna want to use Next.js.
Dude, like that logo.
Damn, dude.
Come on.
Come on now, dude. Rivet, dude.
Rivet,
That's
for
what we
those who
call a
read to
web app.
profit. Probably not the tagline I want to use. You got any tagline I'll give you
Wrivid?
98% share of the company.
Um,
It's about reading.
I don't, I don't know. Read like you mean it.
Do you like making
I
or
like
reading
for
work? You like
I
for
like for
profit?
those to read to profit.
Do you like that? So
Yeah.
this tends interesting. It's interesting. Okay. Because I like it too. It stems from when Barron's published, and this is might be a good backstory. Maybe I'll do an alternative tagline for the nerds, dude. Or for those who need like a Nike tagline. In the 1940s or something, uh, Wall Street was running amok
Mhm.
on the retail investor, just wrecking them hand over fist, making sure they get money, kind of at the expense of retail investors investing in the railroads, which went brazy. And this was kind of uh, spurred by a Kennedy. And you might be aware of the Kennedy family.
I am.
This is the paternal figure of the Kennedy family who was got people, retail investors, comfortable with investing in railroad bonds and whatnot. It all exploded. Everybody died, etc.,
Mm.
etc. Uh, but Barron's published their first publication and had a long 1940s esque sentence. Um, and it's let me find it. Again, the episode ended 20 minutes ago for anybody that was a listener. In the first issue on May 9th. Oh, that's coming up. That's sick as shit, dog. I'm going to publish on May 9th.
All right.
Um, 1921, sorry, Barron's, the National Financial Weekly, introduced itself with the tagline and mission: "We submit to those who read for profit, a new financial publication having for its motto the application of money to practical ends, aka for those who read to profit."
Yeah.
All right. Rick and Bond, thanks for listening.
You use Cloud Code, right?
Oh, yeah.
Or Codex? Use the terminal or use the.
I use the desktop app. Well, yes. I use the desktop apps for Codex and Claude.
Okay, here, try this.
Your terminal.
Yeah.
Give me it in the email.
Okay. Yeah, just use it. And if there's bugs, just tell me and I update it every day.
Okie dokie.
All right, I'll email to you now.
Rick and Bond, thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening, guys.